Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome back to, well, welcome I should say, to a new mini-series. I don't know if I'm going to have like yeah, I might actually have a new mini-series title for it, and this is Spectating the Pros. So Worlds is coming, like winter is coming I guess, but Worlds is coming to Europe now. It did get changed from China to Europe because of visa issues, I believe. And all that means the pros are going to be coming to EU West and playing in our solo queue. So this player here, and you know, one thing I will say, you're going to have to give me a bit of trust, but I am researching it on, there's two websites, it's like lolpros.gg or trackingthepros.com. They kind of track who's the pros. So this player, you'll be like, I don't recognize that name. This is actually C9 Perkz, so he is the mid laner for Cloud9, used to be in Europe, I think, for G2, and then obviously moved to Cloud9. This is his Worlds account, so we'll give it a good watch. And what interested me about this is RYZE has been a little bit of a sore topic actually recently. The fact that RYZE is, and I think most of us would agree, one of the late game hyper carries of League of Legends. Always has been. Like the damage in late game, when you allow RYZE to get there, he should win. Like, that's the point. If you let a RYZE get late game, it's kind of your fault. But with Season 11, late game has become earlier into the game. Or it doesn't seem as bad to play a late game hyper carry champion because they get their first item and they're doing a lot of damage. So I wanted to watch this game because it is, you know, it's a little spoiler, a RYZE doing well against what they shouldn't be doing well. That's a LeBlanc who is a lane bully. See, this first trade, very even trade. Arguably, a RYZE should not really be even trading against a LeBlanc, but it was a relatively an even one. LeBlanc hits level 2, and you can see the pressure that the LeBlanc wants, constantly running on top, like running forward, trying to zone the RYZE away from XP. But yeah, not much is going to be from it. She does get a bit of damage down, which isn't too bad. The RYZE just needs to be a little bit patient. Don't take too much free damage when, you know, there's no point to. But look at that wave clear. Like, even level 2 wave clear for RYZE is so healthy. Like, it's unbelievable to me that it's so healthy. I don't know. But obviously, yeah, the LeBlanc has a little bit of an early game pushing power, like, but RYZE will slowly start bringing it back now. Because, yeah, the LeBlanc had the XP advantage first. She's going to try and distract the RYZE from not getting the cannon. Look at the damage! RYZE is just going to, like, screw this, I'm just going to fight you. And he just straight up killed a LeBlanc at level 3. Late game hyper carry. Hyper scaling champion. In no world should he be able to do that. But, like, even taking away the item point that I just made, the items are much stronger nowadays. So, like, you get late game quicker. That was a no-item RYZE dealing arguably way too much damage in the early game. It's just crazy to me. But anyway, to both mid laners teleport back to mid. Obviously, kind of rare situation of a mid lane kill in the early game, and neither of them used flash. Like, they both still have flash ups. That is a little bit weird. But yeah, and LeBlanc did tank his damage, but I will say it was a lot of damage. Like, I think most people would probably agree that damage output, I personally don't think a RYZE should be doing in the early. Like, look, she is getting wrecked. I don't think she's dead, but holy moly. Jesus Christ, I'm streaming while doing this. Die, say hi. Thank you so much for the 10 gifty subbies. God damn it, the subathon is literally of me recording this. It's tomorrow, so you don't have to go crazy. But thank you so much, dude. That means a lot. Thank you, thank you. But anyway, that damage output, LeBlanc did go down again, by the way, to, I think, there was like a dive or something behind. Nidalee landing some good spears. Oh, she fails the jump. Kha'Zix's flashing away. Urgot roaming down, which again is a key point, obviously, of Season 11, is whether you like it or not, a lot of the season is about roaming. Yes, that's Karma. That's set the top laner. That's 4 people in mid to kill the top laner who's come mid. Like, that is a great example of how would you describe Season 11? The key, well, there's a few key words that I would use, like damage is very high, roaming is probably a very big keyword, but yeah, like, I don't know, like, as people know, I try not to mention it too much, and I probably mention it way too much, but I've not loved this season for many reasons, but yeah, we're literally 4 or 5 minutes into I think this is roughly a challenger game or just under, and it's a mayhem. There's 4 people mid in 4 minutes. Like, I personally don't like that. I like the way I've explained it sometimes. I like structure in a league game. You know, top, jungle, mid, AD carry and support. I like there's a lane phase, a clear lane phase. I like there's a mid game, and then I like there's a late game. And it just feels like this season has completely got rid of practically all that stuff. So you'll notice there, by the way, if you did, RYZE walked over a ward twice. And it happens to me all the time that people go, Huz, why did you kill that ward? Guarantee Perkz would know that was a ward. He would have seen it. Why didn't he kill it? Because you can't sometimes commit to one of those wards. All it takes is LeBlanc to W, obviously he's burnt his flash, W chain and Kha'Zix to be nearby, you don't know where the Kha'Zix is, and you're dead. So, you know, auto-attacking 4 times to kill one of those wards, you can't always commit to. Anyway, level 4 set, and this is the big negative of this season as well, is some people are struggling with XP, because look, there we go. He literally, RYZE roams the top lane with his ulti, and just straight up kills the level 4 set. Why is set level 4? Because he was mid lane. You know, 4 minutes into the game instead of being top lane getting XP. So it's a bit more of a fiesta. But the fact that RYZE is 201, even fun with the LeBlanc, that is bad for a LeBlanc. Just as a fair warning, of terms of scaling, pressure into the game. This LeBlanc, I wouldn't say she's going to be panicking right now, but it's not good. Like, LeBlanc should be winning lane. She is designed to be a lane bully, where RYZE is designed to be a scaling champ. Bad, I will say, by Red Team, having technically the pressure this game. They're 2,000 gold ahead. Giving up that early Infernal Dragon, I think it was. That's not great. You know, when you're in the lead, you really want to, like, make your lead known by taking practically everything. Oh, that is an unhappy Perkz. So remember, this is a pro, but not everybody is going to know it's a pro. But what I would say, question of the day. Here's actually a really good question. If you're watching live, you guys can answer it as well. If you knew you're playing with a pro, so if this LeBlanc, or sorry, this Nidalee knew that is C9 Perkz, would you change your playstyle at all? Would you give them a blue? Would you gank them more? Would you change your playstyle? And yes, I will do that, sorry. Let's put the time objective on. There you go. So there's timers there or something now. So Twitch chat is basically fundamentally saying yes, like you would change it a little bit. But I would say that is bad by the Nidalee. I know not every jungler would be like, you know, oh, I want the blue. But I would say when the RYZE was starting that blue, doing it by himself for quite a while, and then the Nidalee just spear steals it, that's not great for the team atmosphere, I would say. Maybe let the RYZE get that one, but then mention, yo, I'm having the blues from now on, or something. But yeah, I don't know. Like, that's an awkward situation nonetheless. So yeah, Twitch chat is mainly saying yes. 100% yes regarding buffs, etc. See, I have played with pros. Hasn't been for a few years now, but I have. And for the most part, here's the thing, right? What I would say is most people, I would say that I'm going to ask the question to would say yes, because it's like the idea of playing with a pro is a bit of a, you know, a foreign idea. And it's like, oh my God, they're a pro. Yes, I'm obviously going to like let them do, you know, what they want. But what I would say as a bit of defense to when you're a challenger level player like this Nidalee is, you know, this is, let's say, a challenger or grandmaster level game. This Nidalee is here in her own right, in her own skill, and she probably doesn't care there's pros in the game. She's like, oh, it's my game. I've got to this rating by myself. So she might not really care there's a pro, I would say. And that is, I would say, a defensible point as well. Yuumi doing the extra little bit with the RYZE. Oh, Yuumi gets the kill. Oh, now you buy one. You get one free, potentially. Kha'Zix's going to continue. Will Yuumi get the kill? Yuumi, double kill. And yes, that's the enemy bot lane in mid lane. So that makes it, once again, 4 mid. That's the second time this game there has been 4 mid before 10 minutes into the game. That right there is, again, Season 11 in a nutshell. I don't know what the hell's happened in top lane, by the way, because the set is 0-2, which we knew, but he's 30 farm versus 66. I know it's technically a range versus melee matchup, but I didn't think it was that bad. And how you going, Muxim? Hope you're well. But yeah, Yuumi has the most kills in the game right now, tied with the Kha'Zix. Of course, why not? And, you know, that's also the point. Obviously, Yuumi, unhealthy champion in League. Twitch, by the way, the top lane as the AD carry. Actually, there was 4 top lane then. So that's also 4 top lane in a game that was just hit 10 minutes. But yeah, Yuumi, relatively unhealthy champion. But when you're putting Yuumi on top of something that scales, like, it could be anything. Like, people sometimes, I think, put Yuumi only with certain champs or bruisers. If you put a Yuumi on a RYZE in late game, it will absolutely wreck face. I think that's what people don't, sometimes think. LeBlanc is dead. Nice E by the Urgot. It was weirdly timed with the LeBlanc passive proccing. But yeah, again, there's boom, 4 mid lane again. Third time there's 4 mid this game. Nidalee looking for a play. Nice spear with the Urgot. Nice synergy. Yuumi trying to keep the Urgot alive, and she does it, I believe. Yes, she does. Nidalee gets exhausted. Nice to bait that from the Twitch. I don't actually think she was going to commit to it yet. If she lands a spear, she might. She misses it. Never mind. And there we go. Twitch might look for the flank, but it's probably a bit too risky, to be honest. But yeah, what an absolute fiesta of a game. Urgot now overstays. Twitch is on a rampage. He did his old stealthy McGee and stayed around with his ultimate, maybe? I actually don't know if he used ult. Big fight happening. Again, overextending completely. Now this is definitely a buy one. You get one. Never mind. You don't get it free. The sale is off. RYZE ulted, I think. Maybe. Oh no, he TP'd. RYZE TP'd to get to save the Yuumi. And now with the phase rush, look at the movement speed that RYZE has with phase rush and Yuumi. Nearly getting that LeBlanc kill as well. Kha'Zix being low. What the hell is this? This is mad. So yeah, if you are just tuning into the live stream and watching C9 Perkz, he's here for Worlds. In the comments also, do tell me which pros you want me to watch that you know that are coming to Worlds. I do know people have asked me to watch someone called Doinby or someone like that. He's not here yet, or he's not playing actively. So I will be watching him. And I'm not sure if Showmaker is back playing. I presume so, because he was like the best player, I guess, from Worlds last year. And some people have also asked me to do a support spectate, which we normally don't do, and we will watch Core JJ. We will do a spectate of him as well. So yeah, this is a mini series now called Spectating the Pros. It will last for as long as Worlds is here, and obviously, yes, I will be doing spectating Worlds games as well. What I have to do is wait a day, or I can't do them live, and I don't get the replay file, so it's a bit annoying. But basically I have to wait a day or two after they do the live game, and then I have to mute the VOD, and then I can just record over the VOD. And yeah, that's a good point to make. So the one thing the Kha'Zix is doing very well, the Kha'Zix is actually having a good game. He's 4-1-3 in a game that his team is having a rough game. He is performing well. It's not, Kha'Zix maybe couldn't help the set enough. The set has recovered a bit this game, getting farm back up at least. But the LeBlanc is getting owned, which is a bit of a rough deal for a LeBlanc. Twitch is doing okay, but the Kha'Zix getting 2 dragons is pretty good. Like, that's all you... Like, what more can the jungler do? You're having a great KD, you're farming pretty decently, and you've got in your team 2 dragons when your team is behind. So this Kha'Zix is actually playing incredibly well. His team just need to kind of pick up the pace a little bit themselves. Potential dive happening in bot lane. And yep, that is a dead, unfortunate Lucian with 3 people bot lane. Only 2 of them get the kill though, or help to get the kill. 3 people top lane. So that is basically, we've mentioned a lot, roaming meta, but it's the outnumbering meta is kind of the way to put it. Is there's 4 people mid versus 2, or there's 3 people top versus 1, or 3 people top versus 1. Obviously, it goes without saying if you're an AD carry and your support abandons you. Meanwhile, Twitch goes for this arguably a bit of a weird play. Obviously, it was a bit lucky, I would say, that Yuumi was in the area. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think that Twitch is going to get that kill anyway. With RYZE proccing phase rush running forward, I think that Twitch was probably in trouble. Maybe he wouldn't have died if Yuumi wasn't there, but I don't think he was going to kill RYZE. This RYZE is in actually quite a strong place, to be honest. So, yeah. And obviously, his wave clears incredibly fast. He can just wave clear it and then look to go roam, funny enough. So that is why I would say also RYZE seems to suit the meta quite well. It's not just the fact that his damage is incredibly high. If you are very good with your ulti, because typically RYZE ulti has been the biggest point that people haven't been able to get right in solo queue. But it's a roaming ult if you think of it. You can use it as a mini Twisted Fate ult that you are teleporting part of the map. So it is actually quite an effective roaming tool. So Set actually tried to flash away. He is now getting caught. Just didn't walk away, didn't respect it enough. And yeah, we don't have the animation for it because the replay bugs, but they will get the kill on Set. So this Set has had a bit of a nightmare of a game, but it's still very much like anybody's game, arguably, at the moment. If blue team continue the trend of getting the dragons and they end up with getting Dragon Soul, that can always bring you back into a game. And hell, even Elder Dragon can bring you back into a game. I've seen teams be losing and losing and losing. They get Elder, they win the game. So it can happen. The only thing I would say negatively about blue team is scaling-wise. Set doesn't scale bad by any means, but Urgot also is pretty good, so that's kind of evenly matched. Kha'Zix can struggle in grouping situations. He's an assassin, so he might struggle in late game. LeBlanc is definitely going to suffer in late game. She's the combination of her scaling isn't great and she's an assassin, so she struggles in grouping. But you do have that the Twitch to fall back on. If you can protect Twitch, he can carry a game late. And they have Lucian, who will fall off more than a Twitch does. And yeah, Rolly Rob makes a great point, and that is something that we'll see throughout watching all these pros. If you notice of how much has happened this game, we're just gone 16 minutes. Look at the farm. The RYZE is about 150 farm. He is farming very well for how much has happened this game. Always be farming. Like, literally, if you're not getting farm, you're not making the normal amount of gold and XP that you should be making at all time. If you ever have those games, and we all have them, that, dude, I've been, like, level 10 for 5 minutes. Well, then you're doing something wrong. Like, you always need to be doing something that kind of generates income or generates XP. And everyone now and then is going to struggle with doing that. You can just have those kind of weird games that you're like, I can't do anything. LeBlanc goes for a really weird engage. I actually do not know what that was about. Maybe tilt from the LeBlanc, maybe boredom, that she's in a bit of a frustrating lane phase. She's losing to a RYZE. Oh god, I'm going to fall off. I have to make a play, so I'm going to go for a weird one. I don't know. But Dragon now, so one thing is noted is you've lost the first two dragons being red team. Meanwhile, got catches one. He might even go for a 2v1. But yeah, so the third dragon, red team is straight on it. Because if you do lose the third dragon and you have 0, it's very unlikely you're going to get the Dragon Soul, I would say. Meanwhile, flashing for the Twitch, he's going to go down to the Nidalee Spear. I did, by the way, there is... I will say, there is a tactic. It's a bold tactic to do. And I'm not saying that they did it this game on purpose. But if anybody has ever heard of the tactic with dragons, there is a tactic that some junglers do that you give the first 2 dragons for free on purpose. And you might be like, huh? Why would you do that? Basically, as long as I'm remembering this correctly, it takes... Is it 4? Whenever one team has got the Dragon Soul, is only then when Elder Dragon spawns until a certain amount of time or whatever it is. If you give these 2 dragons first, these are going to be small little scaling. You know, it's going to give you 12 ultimate ability haste and 4% attack and AP. But this is going to give you 6 armor and magic resist. If you have complete control of the game, it's going to be arguably more worth to give those 2 little stats to the enemy team, and then if you get 4 mountain dragons or 4 infernal dragons, that's actually more value. So a 4 stack, if 4 of the same buff with then also the Dragon Soul, is incredibly strong. So the RYZE Yuumi gets caught out. How? Well, double stealth. So literally a Twitch and a buy one, get one free. A Twitch and a Kha'Zix both using stealth mechanic to sneak up on the RYZE and the Yuumi, and they get a double pick. So again, they are still making plays. They're holding on to this game as much as they can. Urgot, though, is becoming the monster. Yeah, by the way, it's insanely risky, that strategy, because if it backfires, it can lose you the game. But it is a strategy, to be fair. So Set getting speared, ult straight away, going to look for potentially his escape. Nidalee, wow, she's actually got Rocket Belt on Nidalee. And look, that, by the way, is a 0 and 4 Set with no completed mythic item, absolutely owning a fed Nidalee. He is going to go down eventually, I would say, and RYZE picks it up with teleporting behind. But yeah, like, absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. But yeah, like, I've said it for ages, I'm not a big fan of stealth. Like, that play in mid lane, you could say, oh, there was skill in that play, it was coordinated, it was, you know, they both used stealth at the same time. But there isn't much, like, outplay to it, like, for me. Like, oh, great, they were invisible, and I got killed because 2 people were invisible. Yay. To me, it's just never the most satisfying, and that's the key word that of what I've not enjoyed the mythic items or the balance in the game this season is it's not satisfying. I don't mind losing games of League. I really don't. Losing is part of solo queue. Losing is part of League in general. But when you're losing and it's like, oh god, that didn't feel satisfying. I didn't feel like I got outskilled losing that match, whatever it may be. That's when League, I think, loses some people. And that's where I really think League has struggled this season, is it's unhealthy, a lot of it. Meanwhile, a Baron call has happened. And I think Blue Team has just been completely caught sleeping here. Boom. That Baron happened incredibly fast, very quick to do it. And that is the point. It's always risky to do Baron when you haven't actually killed any of the enemy team. But sometimes if you can make that call that you're in the same area, you can see LeBlanc's bot lane, they don't have any vision, you've checked with red trinkets. If you just nail it and do it really quick, you can just completely catch off the enemy team. Once again, LeBlanc, not really sure what's going on here. And she gets sniped. She literally gets sniped by Urgot. Twitch now on the back foot, trying to ult. Kha'Zix's going in on the Urgot. Look at the Urgot damage, ladies and gentlemen. All the damage, with then the set coming in late. RYZE will go down, unfortunately for him. Over 200 farm at 20 minutes into the game. Set's going to go down, and that is an ace. So the quick Baron, the control of the game, and that is actually the end of the game. So the reason why I wanted to... Oh my god, Urgot's name is I Miss Cannon. I like that guy. That's a good note. I like that. 10 out of 10. So the reason why I wanted to show this game and highlight this game, by the way, is... This game is, from the outside when I looked, RYZE did the most damage in this game. In a 20-minute game, as a late-game hyperscaling champion, it never felt, at least for me in mid lane, watching RYZE versus LeBlanc, it never looked like LeBlanc had any type of lane advantage. Practically at all. Maybe at level 2, maybe. But that's my point. A LeBlanc has no lane advantage over a RYZE. Now, some people may say, oh, you know, that's C9 Perkz. He's against a random EU West, you know, mid laner. Maybe, yeah, sure. Maybe those are just a difference in skill against the two players. But, again, a lane bully LeBlanc can't do anything to a RYZE. Nothing of note. That's where, to me, it's a bit like, that's a bit crazy. So I would, by the way, expect RYZE to be in Worlds this year, if for those that are wondering. He's always a pro champion. The ultimate can make huge coordinated moves, teleporting your team, like, you know, we just saw teleporting to Baron or whatever it may be. But, yeah, well, that's the point. Deji was like, it's only a random EU West Challenger player. It is a Challenger player on EU West, that LeBlanc. So, like, it's a very good player. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments down below. Let me know what other pros you want me to watch and all that good stuff. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this kind of mini-series within Spectating. Some people have mentioned Faker. I don't know. Like, let me know, but I don't actually know if Faker still plays. I've got no idea. I don't watch pro play. I especially don't watch Korean pro play. So I don't know if he even still plays. I've got no idea. But that is going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace. Call down!